How much of an impact does nutrition have on sports performance? Today we find out on The Athlete's Voice. Joining us in studio today, we have two Team Singapore multi-sport athletes. Please welcome Ahmad Arif Ibrahim and Mr. Ben Khoo. Hi guys.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Share with us more about yourselves, like what do you do outside of being an athlete, and of course, how you got into multi-sport racing.
Okay, I'll start first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so I'm Arif. I'm a full-time PE teacher in a local primary school. I got into the sport post-NS, or actually during NS, by someone who's quite well-known in the triathlon scene currently, Coach Arthur Tong. I was in the NS group with him on a course. He decided to bring our whole group out on the weekend to Sentosa to do a swim and run. Yeah, so I was like thinking, I could swim, I could run. So I entered the aquathlon team in NTU in 2016. Did quite well in my first year. On my second year, 2017, I went to cheer my seniors at the SEA Games qualifiers at East Coast Park. Looking at the results, I was thinking, I think I could do those timings. Yeah. So that's how I got into multi-sport. I found my own coach, worked my way up. So 2019, managed to get a qualifying spot in the SEA Games for duathlon. And then came back with the silver medal in the team duathlon event.
Yeah. You make it sound too easy, but clearly not everyone is as talented, so yeah, you'll have to figure that part out yourselves. And Ben.
Hi, my name is Ben. My claim to fame is having the Singapore Ironman record of 9:02:24, and my unofficial claim to fame is vlogging the Singapore Marathon and coming in second. Outside of sport, I have a side hustle, which is starting a nutrition supplement business called Live Long Long. It's a Singaporean brand, and the aim of Live Long Long is to bring anti-aging supplements to Singaporeans, and that's why it's a very local name. That's me. How I got into the sport. I started off doing aquathlon. My first race was the Navy Biathlon way back in 2010. Started doing that, got hooked on the endurance bug, bought a bike, and the rest is history. I have three big races in terms of priority. The first priority is to break the Singapore Ironman record, which I hold. It's currently 9:02, and the fastest time in ASEAN is 9:56, held by Tay from Malaysia. So, being Singaporean, you can't let Malaysians beat us.
So 8:56 or 9:56?
8:56. So Tay has 8:56. So my goal is to break the Singapore Ironman record, and it's a cherry on top if I also break the ASEAN Ironman record. So that's goal one. Second goal is to qualify for the SEA Games. That has been a dream of mine, and I've unfortunately always been a third place, and only two go to the SEA Games. So I hope to make it to the SEA Games team in Bangkok this year in December. And my last goal is to run a fast marathon.
Which you've already done a couple, but I think this year it's
not fast enough.
Not fast enough for your liking.
Not fast enough. So I finished second at the Singapore Marathon, which I was very pleased with. So that left a few lingering questions of how fast I can actually go. I've never tried running an open marathon before, and I thought I'll give it a shot. So I'll be running the Seoul Marathon in March.
Two major races. The first one would be after seeing Ben run his marathon, and I'm thinking, I know marathons are hard, so why not give it a go? Actually, I was planning to do a half marathon in Gold Coast, but when I tried to sign up, the slots sold out pretty fast.
Yeah.
So there were only marathons left.
Yeah.
So what do? You sign up for the marathon.
Fate made the decision for you, basically.
Yeah, so July I'll be doing first marathon, which I will have trained for. I mean, I did a marathon before when I wasn't doing multi-sports, like when I was still playing football. I ran a marathon with my friends, but it was more of a chit-chat, let's get to the finish line.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5-6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I want to see how fast, with proper training, I can do a marathon.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is qualify for the SEA Games this year for duathlon in December, and also try to win a medal with the team event with the Singapore team.
In terms of planning and nutrition as performance-focused athletes, do you guys think differently from everyday athletes, or is there a particular way you fuel your performance?
I'm happy to start. I think the biggest difference between performance endurance athletes and normal people is the sheer amount of calories you have to consume. I train 2 to 3 hours a day, every day. I think Arif is quite similar. And if you burn 700 calories a day, it means you have to eat 2,000 more calories than normal people. And that means we have to, instead of having 3 meals, we need to have 6 meals. So the difficulty is not eating the calories. The difficulty is eating enough calories, because if you don't eat enough, you can't recover the next day. Maybe you can make it to day 2, but by day 3, you won't have energy anymore. So I think that's the biggest difference. And it's quite difficult to consume 4,000 calories consistently. A lot of my colleagues at the office also look at me and like, Ben is always eating. Yeah, and it's also difficult to eat 4,000 calories healthily. Yeah. So for me, I prioritize gut health, which means focusing on foods with high fiber content. So I eat a lot of fruits. I find that frozen fruits are easier to get down, so I eat a lot of frozen fruits, like frozen blueberries, cherries, strawberries, and also foods high in protein for recovery. Because for athletes, there's a lot of breakdown of muscle. So we, on top of having a lot of raw calories, not just Ben and Jerry's or McDonald's.
That would be the dream, right?
Yes, the dream. Then we also have to eat a very high protein, so about 2 to 3 grams per kilo of body weight. So that's 180 grams of protein. So that's about 8 chicken breasts.
A lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot of protein. So
8 chicken breasts a day.
Yeah. So I try to take it in terms. Oh, how many eggs would that be? 1 egg is 7. So times 7. Yeah.
So 180 is a lot.
It's a lot. 25 eggs. Yeah. 25 eggs a day, equivalent of protein. So it's finding ways that we can take this down without damaging our bodies too much. So for me, that would be taking like a lot of chicken, a lot of fish, white meat, and then also vegetable meats like nuts and tofu.
Okay. And I mean, there's clearly a science behind all this, you know, how much you should be taking based on how much you're putting out in terms of trainings and all that. But is there an easy way for, let's say, the everyday athlete who, let's say, may not have access to all the data that you guys have, that they can use for, let's say, they could be training, not that they're not training competitively per se, but let's say they're training for marathon, half marathon. Is there a formula that's more easily digestible to help them kind of like know, like, oh, I need to take this much a day? Or do you guys actually have like a sports nutritionist guide you along when you were actually doing your measurements?
I think previously, so my take is, I agree with Ben, like the sheer amount of training we do allows us to consume a very big amount of calories. So I mean, if you eat healthily, whole foods, you ensure that you have all the different food groups, like your fats, your carbs, your protein. Generally, you will be fine on the safe side. Whereas previously, when I wasn't watching what I eat, I was snacking on candies or chocolates. It's easy to hit the calorie count.
That's why you're chubby fast.
Chubby fast.
But when you realize and you start to look into your food and you start to take away all the sugar, excess sugar, the processed sugar, the candy and stuff, you realize it's pretty difficult to eat sheer amount of whole food, which amounts to like 5,000 calories, 4,000 calories a day. It's like you have to constantly be snacking, eating, which I would say can get pretty tiring and get tired by eating. Yeah. So I think a safe way for anyone to go is just make sure that you have all the different food items on your plate, your veggie for all your nutrition, your vitamins, your carbs for energy, your protein to repair your muscles, your fats just to ensure your bodily functions remain healthy, and I think you're good to go.
I have an interesting rule of thumb. Is eat as much as you can while you exercise and eat like a normal person when you're not. So basically when you exercise, when you're doing endurance sports, you also need to train your gut to digest carbohydrates when you're training. And also if you eat a lot of carbohydrates while you're training, your recovery is faster because your body's not as depleted when you finish. So when I'm on a bicycle, I don't constrain myself on what I eat. I can eat anything, gummy bears, Haribo, gels, anything, chocolate bars, whatever I can get my hands on, because that's actually helping to start fuel the body, train my gut, so when I race I can eat as much as I can. And then also to get in the calories in a more enjoyable fashion, because that's sort of like when you really, the chocolate bar tastes the best is when you're hungry
you don't
on the
punish
bike.
yourself even then, right?
Yeah,
It's like it's
yeah,
okay.
exactly. And I find it helps me a lot in racing as well. So when I did the marathon, I noticed that marathoners are only eating one or two gels an hour, whereas I can consume like 4, 5. I may have consumed 10 gels in an hour before. So that is an advantage, training your gut to be able to consume that much calories. So I think that's something different as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Outside of whole foods that you described, or like organic foods, like are there any supplements that would actually help or performance?
I think generally if you can get everything from whole food, that's the ideal way.
Yep.
But if you need, or in certain situations, you can't get your hands on enough protein or whatnot, you can use supplements. So for example, I think we'll touch on this topic later on during fasting month.
Yeah.
I leverage a lot on protein powder because I can't consume the sheer amount of calories. And I think he can be my witness. Every fasting month, my weight just drops. Because you can't be constantly eating, like I have to rest at night.
Yeah.
So I try to get as much calories in, but I'll cover that later on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Interesting.
totally agree with Arif. I think supplements should be, what in its name, supplement your diet. So your diet should be the foundation of everything. But things you can't get from your diet, then you take supplements. So one example is vitamin D. Right, vitamin D, you get it from the sun, but as most Singaporeans, you work in an office, even if you're extremely active, you go to the gym, you still won't get enough sun.
Yeah.
So most Singaporeans are vitamin D deficient, so they should take vitamin D supplements. Other things like, I have a brand called Live Long Long.
I was about to actually just ask you about that. You have an interesting job outside of being an athlete.
Yeah.
And also you recently started
Live Long Long, yeah.
which for the uninitiated, it's not Ben trying to be funny. It is related to what we're talking about. And maybe you can share with us what is Live Long Long and how does it help?
Sure. So Live Long Long, the goal of Live Long Long is to bring anti-aging science to athletes and to Singaporeans to make it accessible. So why I started Live Long Long was because I unofficially retired from short distance racing in
last year,
2021. 2022. 2020, at the end of 2021. And the reason behind this was I realized that I no longer had explosive power. We were running and cycling against the much younger athletes born after 2000. And I'm born in 91, right? So 10 years ahead of them. And we got off the bike and they had the explosive power to just sprint off. Whereas I needed a km and a half to get my legs ready, and then I could match the pace. So it wasn't a lack of fitness; it was just a lack of explosivity, which you lose with age. And at that, I could run that pace at 1.5k, and there was only 1k left in the race, so the race was over.
Yep.
So I knew if this is going to be what it's like, I am no longer competitive. So I started looking for solutions on how I can help with my aging. I was 31, but I felt I was aging. So I came across NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide, which is a supplement used by biohackers. And I looked through the WADA ban list. It's not banned. It has great benefits. How come no one is taking it? Just because of a lack of awareness in Singapore. And it's also quite expensive. So I took it. I realized that it's really effective. It helped me break the Singapore Ironman record in 2023. So after that, I was like, why don't everyone take it? So I decided to start a brand to go direct to customers to provide it at an accessible price. So a little bit about NMN and supplements. NMN is produced in your body, but it decreases as you age. And that causes like age-related problems like lack of energy, difficulty sleeping, aging of the skin because of DNA gets old. So NMN helps with DNA repair, helps your mitochondria produce more energy. So it's great, right? But what's the drawback? There are no downsides to your health. The drawback is it's expensive. So I started Live Long Long as a direct customer solution for everyone. The point was that you can't produce enough NAD in your body.
Okay, NAD,
You have to consume 100 kilos of broccoli.
100 kilos of broccoli a day?
A day, yeah. So
Good grief.
to get enough to raise the NAD levels in your body. So instances like that, because you can't eat enough, then you supplement with NMN. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I didn't know that, and I mean, I do know for a fact that as you age, I mean, I'm aging as well. I mean, all of us, your body, you do notice that your body is not recovering as fast as it used to, and all that. But so you're saying that NMN kind of like it's your body produces less of that.
Correct.
Or was it NAD? Sorry, and
Produces less NAD.
less NAD as you age, right?
Yeah.
And so NMN is supposed to kind of fill that gap
Yep.
that for
Which
all
is the
athletes.
fuel for your cells.
Okay. The anti-aging properties that you mentioned is something that's not just related to sports, but I understand from you that this is an area that Live Long Long is trying to fill a gap in the sports performance area as well.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we want to bring we want to provide legal options.
Illegal, yeah.
Because clean sport, right?
NT.
Legal options to all athletes by bringing in supplements that are less known to athletes.
So what are some of the properties or the benefits that, let's say someone is taking Live Long Long, when will I start noticing that I'm benefiting from taking Live Long Long? Let's say I'm training for a marathon, I'm training for a triathlon.
So for athletes, there are three big benefits: more energy, better muscle endurance, and then recovery. So it typically takes about 2 weeks to 4 weeks before you start feeling general improvements, and then 30 to 60 days when you feel like, oh, this is really helping me. Yeah. So it's a little bit like having a good diet. You don't get the benefits immediately, but you need a while before you realize that there's a very subtle but marked change. Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. It'll be interesting. So do check out Live Long Long.
Live long, long,
Live Long Long.
Live long. www.livelonglong.life.
Majority of people are not elite athletes, right? They're not high performance athletes, but even if they are very active in sports, they will probably notice that it is quite difficult to make that adjustment during Ramadan, right? But specifically for you, how did it impact you in terms of how you're eating or what you're consuming, and what were some of the solutions that you went about?
So I think it starts off with the training first, because during Ramadan period, we are not able to eat or drink any water from sunrise all the way to sunset. So in Singapore context, it's about 5:30 all the way until 7. Give or take, every day it changes, like by a few minutes. So firstly, I would try to plan my training around times where I can eat. So it doesn't make sense if I go and train in the morning and then post-training you can't drink or eat. I'm just going to faint the whole day. Which happened during one of my SEA Games selection. Yeah, it happened during the fasting month. We raced in the morning, then I just KO for the rest of the day, like in bed. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, so that was the year when I qualified for 2019 SEA Games. We had the SEA Games qualifiers during fasting month. I did the race, but I was super dehydrated after that.
Oh dear.
He still won.
Still won.
So
That's the main thing. The highlight of the
took
day.
a cold shower, took a very long cold shower just to cool the body down, because by the time the race ended, it was still about 8 a.m. Then the time I can break fast is 7 p.m. So there's a long gap until I could break my fast to get my hydration in. So I took a cold shower, cool the body down, and just took it easy for the rest of the day.
Okay.
But I mean, during Ramadan period, I have to make adjustments to my training and as well as my diet. So first I'll go with training. It revolves around the time where I can refuel or supplement my body. So for the morning session, the latest time we can eat until usually is about 5:30, 5:20 to be safe. So I'll try to get my sessions done by 5 o'clock. So it's waking up slightly earlier, going out at like 4 or 3 something to get my first session done. Easier session usually in the morning because the body is still a bit cold. But get the hour or hour and a half in, quickly come back, get my nutrition in, and then off to work. Whereas in the evening, it depends on the session itself. If it's an easier session, I can always do it at about 6 p.m, do my easy hour, and then by 7, you're done. You wait for a few more minutes, you can break your fast and replenish your body.
Yeah.
But if it's a harder session, for example, I will doing intervals on the track. That is when I will push the training slightly back. We'll start about 6:40, warm up about 20 minutes, wait until I can break fast. So I think he's seen this a lot of times. Just eat 2-3 dates, drink some water, and we'll start the interval sessions, just to get that a bit of sugar boost in the bloodstream.
The question being that using dates to break fast and then going for a hard session, do you feel like enough energy for that, or it's?
Usually, I've been using dates because it's quite simple sugar. There's some fiber as well to keep me just happy, just enough. Cause I realized during Ramadan period I can't eat large amount of volume. I think because during the fasting period, your stomach shrinks because it's not active throughout the whole day. So I can eat small amounts. 3 dates. I mean, Prophet used to do it. I mean, if it worked for him, I can do it as well. So I mean, if it does, so far it's been working. It's just enough. I just needed the simple enough sugar to last me the session. So once the session is done, then I will start replenishing with my rice, my protein powder, whatever I can get my hands on.
Okay.
It definitely works, you know. I'm at the receiving end of it.
The receiving end of that. I think you mentioned about protein powders. You're saying that in the ideal state, you can actually get whatever you need from organic foods. But in cases like Ramadan or in other situations where you can't really consume as much throughout the day, then protein powders or other supplements kind of come into play and help you do that. How much protein powder do you take during Ramadan? Just out of curiosity.
Protein powder, I'll just drink, if it's a hard day, so normally I'll do hard days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll drink one before I start fasting and one after I break my fast. Because the 2 hard sessions a day, generally if I look at my energy expenditure for the day, it's significantly higher than my other days, even though the training hours are similar. But the effort level for the sessions are way vastly different. It can be like close to 700 calories difference from day to day. So imagine like day one, for my example, Mondays I'll be burning like 4,000 calories, but Tuesday my other sessions can go up to like close to 5,000 because of the sheer amount of volume we're doing training. And we're not professional athletes, I would say. We still have a full-time job when we have to still carry out our job. And for me, I'm a PE teacher, so I'm constantly on my feet. So I mean, you're still burning as you're moving along with the kids.
What would a typical race fueling strategy look like for you?
I think ours is slightly different. I'm still quite perplexed with his pre-race fueling. For me, I go the standard carb loading. I'll just eat a bit more carbohydrates, reduce a bit on my meat intake because it takes longer to digest, get it out of the system, and less fruits as well. I don't want too much fiber in my I'm mostly focusing on the carbohydrate top-ups in my muscles so that I have enough energy for the race. But when I go overseas with him to race, I realize he likes to have a big fat steak.
Yeah, I love steak.
I don't get it. It works for him.
I typically, so for me, when I'm feeling really down and out of energy, I usually go for a steak for meat and just the iron in it, but in lunchtime. And then in dinner time, I'll eat a high carb diet with very easy to digest proteins like fish or chicken. Before a race, I have a very different diet. I like to eat blueberries. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of superstition. I've taken blueberries and I did well at a race. Did it again and did well at a race. So it's become my pre-race ritual. I buy 2 punnets of fresh blueberries with a bit of yogurt, and that's typically my solid food diet. And then I'll drink as much carbohydrate drink, like 100 plus, and then as much gel as I can eat before a race.
Okay, so, and that's not because of the antioxidants or anything, that's just because it's a superstition.
No, it works, man.
All right, I'm going to take your word for it. And,
I think on top of carbohydrate, carb loading, I also take a bit more of nitrate. So those beetroot shots and stuff. I was only exposed to it before SEA Games, where the sports nutritionist introduced it. This has proven benefits to help endurance sports and stuff. So I've been trying it. I think it works. I don't know how much of my performance increase is due to the beetroot shots, but if it works, I think it works. But it's just quite hard to get a hold of in Singapore.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And not much downsides for taking beetroot except your pee turns red. I mean, but your body's fine.
Interesting.
So it's one of those like non-controversial supplements that is expensive.
Yes.
Right. And how about during the race? What does your how much water do you take? How much electrolytes? Or I mean, I'm not too sure about triathlons. I know that the high performance athletes typically for marathons and all that will get your own drink station and all that. Is that the same for you guys? And how many gels do you consume usually for your races usually?
Okay, so I'm doing short course. So normally my races end between 1 hour if it's on the sprint distance, 2 hours if it's on the Olympic distance, or even shorter, like 20-30 minutes if it's the super sprint. So for me, I don't really have to carry so much gels with me. I will usually have one caffeinated gel about 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the race, because it takes time for the caffeine to come into my blood flow to give me that extra kick, I would say, during race day. Then on my bike, if it's a shorter race, I won't have any more caffeine. If it's a slightly longer race, maybe one more caffeine gel just to top up the caffeine intake. But I have done my sweat test. I'm quite a salty sweater. Yeah, so my bottles are a lot of electrolytes in it, a lot of salt. And I mean, it's measured out. I have to finish a certain amount every day, 20-30 minutes. So that I am up to date with my hydration, my electrolytes in my body, and the sugar in my body. Yeah, it's like rough estimates. I don't have a thermometer or a method to find out exactly what's going on in the body, but by estimates, I have already dialed in a pretty solid plan on how much gels I have to take. So shorter distance, about one every 20 minutes. If I have to stretch, 25 minutes. Yeah.
Interesting.
And everything's carried on us on the bike. Yeah. So on the cycle or the bicycle leg, it's when most or almost all the athletes are consuming all their calories, and more so applicable on his distance where he's on the bike for like 5 hours straight.
Yeah. So here are two interesting facts. The first interesting fact is it takes about 10 to 12 minutes for sugars you put in your mouth to enter your bloodstream. And what that means is that if you have 10 to 12 minutes left in a race, you should still take a gel, right? So the second interesting fact is most people can tolerate up to 90 grams of carbohydrates per hour. So that is about 3 packets of gel, or if it's 100 plus, that would be about, I think 100 plus 30 calories per 30 calories, which brings you to about 30 calories per 100 ml. Sorry, I'm mathing now. About 900 ml of 100 plus, which is a lot of 100
actually,
plus, right? So my principle is to eat as much as you can whenever you can for long distance racing. One more interesting fact is that your body has enough carbohydrates for 90 minutes. Yeah. So if your race is less than 90 minutes, actually you sort of can get away with bad nutrition. Yeah. But if it's more than 90 minutes, like a half marathon or a marathon, Ironman, you definitely need to eat. Yeah. Or it's going to bite you in the back. So for me, I eat as much as I can. I drink as much as I can. In a marathon, I would tell them, I would ask them, don't give me the cup, give me the bottle. So I can drink as much as I can, because you want to put back whatever you lose. And your body naturally can't put back enough. So you're always in depletion. So over a 9-hour Ironman, you never top up. It's not possible to top up to where you started. So you want to reach as close as you were at the start of the race, which means eat as much as you can. So that means you have to train your gut. During training, you just eating solids would train your gut better than eating liquids. Yeah, and also get used to consuming that much calories, because most normal people, after taking like 2 hours of drinking salty drink, they get palate fatigue. So they're like, I don't want to take this, I don't like this flavor, don't like this taste, I don't want anything sweet left. So you just kind of have to figure out your nutrition strategy. So I don't know how this translates for normal people. For normal people, try to get mix up the flavors in your bottles if you're doing an Ironman, and then for marathoners, bring more flavors. Don't just bring one flavor. It's really boring. Switch up switch up the brands, switch up the flavors. And it feels like a nice buffet when you reach out. And it's like a lucky draw. You're like, hey, I got strawberry, I got chocolate.
But caveat, you got to train using it during training before.
Yeah.
If not,
Oh yeah,
during
definitely.
race day, you'll be finding the toilet all
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
So start eating 20 minutes in. You start when you feel like you don't have to eat. Just start eating, and then it'll pay off near the end of the race. Yeah. So that's my advice for regular people.
Interesting. So whether it's palate fatigue or mixing up your gels so you get life's like a box of chocolates, right? So you
Yeah,
can surprise
exactly.
yourself during the marathon. Useful tips from both Ben and of course Arif. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode on nutrition for sports and also fueling during the Ramadan period. We hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as much as we did with these two guys in studio. Don't forget to stay tuned to more of such interesting insights from other athletes from various sports coming onto our show very, very soon. We hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. And if you do have any questions for our athletes on the show today, you can feel free to drop us a message or hit them up yourselves, both Arif and Ben. Take care, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Live long, dot life. Live long, dot life.
Just waiting for the moment to come in.